Hello again, I am Blunty. This is an Elgato Stream Deck, and I've made videos about it before. If you're a regular around these here parts, you'll know it very well, especially if you've come to my streams. I'm always talking about this thing. Well, not always, but whenever someone asks about the Stream Deck, I tend to gush about it because it is one of my very favorite and most useful tools I have added to my arsenal of gadgets ever. Just quickly, for those of you not already familiar with what the Stream Deck is, it is a fully programmable control surface, basically. Each one of the buttons on here is an individually addressable little LCD screen, so you can make all these buttons do, look however you need them to look. And each one of these buttons can do a gajillion different things. Well, maybe not a gajillion different things, but a lot of different things. It's called the Stream Deck because it was primarily designed for controlling stream. So you do scene changes, you bring up graphics, you can do all kinds of stuff. You can start and stop your stream, you can start and stop recording, you can control audio devices, media playback, all kinds of things. Basically anything you need to do with controlling your stream, you can do from the Stream Deck. But it's also useful in all kinds of other ways because it is fully programmable. So you can use it if you're an artist at your art program. You can put all your little shortcuts in. If you're a video editor, you put all your little shortcuts in. It's brilliant. But now there's this. Just had to check I held it up the right way around. The first take I did of this, I held it up the wrong way. That way. But now that I pointed it out, I might as well. But now there's this. Nobody knows. This is the Stream Deck Mini. It is basically exactly the same thing, but mini. Doi. It takes the exact same idea, but smallens the execution down to 6 programmable buttons instead of the 15 on the standard version. This also brings the price down to just under 100 American smackaroos. Just like the original Stream Deck, it is a single USB cable. Unlike the original Stream Deck, which is largely flat but comes with an adjustable stand, the Mini is triangular in profile, a cleaner, simpler solution, even if it does mean giving up the minor nicety of adjustable angles, which, quite frankly, I never used anyway. And again, just like the original Stream Deck, each of the buttons is made to be utterly silent in operation so as not to induce any clicking into your stream audio, and each key has an individually assignable image, 2 in fact for many functions that have an on and off state. I especially enjoy this with my microphone mute on and off switch and my recording on and off switch, neither of which I'm going to demonstrate for you here because if I touch one of these buttons it's going to stop the recording because I'm using OBS to do this recording. In fact, I'll do it now. I'll mute. You can see the mic thing turns green and the microphone turns back on. It's fantastic. I can see at a glance whether my microphone's on and off, and you can do that with all kinds of functions. In a recent update to the software, they also added the ability to use animated GIFs on these buttons as well, which I don't use because why would I want a flickering animated GIF in my peripheral vision when I'm trying to stream and look at the game and look at the camera and do the stream? Why would I want something going flicker, flicker, flicker? But if you want to have animated GIFs on this thing, you can. I would recommend it, especially considering how easily distracted most people are these days. The hardware itself feels nicely solid. In fact, it's a bit heavier than the original version as well. And largely because it's, a little bit bulkier and has to be a bit heavier to help keep it in place on the table. Underneath, to aid that, there's a rubbery sort of surface here as well. So when you poke and prod at it, it doesn't slide across your desk, which is nice. The Mini also shares the exact same software interface as the big one as well. In fact, you can have both living side by side on the same system with no problems at all. They're all individually accessible. In fact, right now I've got 2 of the big ones and the little one all hooked up to the same system, and the software is like, yeah, this one's this one, this one's this one, this one's this one. You can set them up all differently. You can share profiles between them if you like. Simple. The software has extensive built-in support for OBS, SlowBS, XSplit, Mixer, Streamlabs, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. It has a built-in soundboard function. It can trigger preset system hotkeys. It can launch programs. It can enter text into chat boxes or anywhere. It can launch websites. It can control media playback. And in the most recent update, the software has a multi-action system, so you can basically set up huge lists of macros. So one button can do this, and then it does that, then it does that, then it waits for 30 seconds, then it does that, then it does that, then it does that, and you can just do an immensely powerful tool. I haven't actually played much with the multi-actions yet, but I've got some ideas. But very, very exciting. And that's the real secret to the Stream Deck, by the way. It's not a hardware product. This is the interface for what is the product. And the product is the software, the very, very clever software. This is just a really nice interface to the software that lets you do all that powerful stuff. And the reason it's a really nice interface is because it's, well, fully programmable, and you can see it's glanceable. You can just, I mean, you don't have to remember hotkey combinations on your keyboard. You don't have to like put little stickers on your keyboard to remind you what hotkey you've got assigned to where. It's just the pictures, and they're all dynamic as well. So you can have folders of stuff and folders within folders and folders within folders within folders. If you want to sort of really dig down into that, it can do just, I know I'm gushing, and this might sound at some points to be kind of like a sponsored ad or something, but I promise you, I'm not sponsored or supported by Elgato anyway. They did send me this before the official launch, so I could sort of have a play around with it and check it out and sort of give you my opinion on it. But I'm not a sponsored Elgato streamer or influencer or anything like that. I just really, really like the Elgato Stream Decks. In fact, I like them so much, I never want to stream without these things ever again, because they really have made the whole process so much more frictionless, I think is the best word for it. These remove a lot of friction because you can just do things with your stream, you know, swap scenes and mute audio and check whether your audio is actually even on or not, whether you're recording. You can bring up little sort of pictures and emoticons and GIFs in your overlay and things like that. You can turn bits of your overlay on and off, and you can do all that at a glanceable thing with a very clear icon. You just go, you know, that button right there, that little sort of drinky icon thing. That's my BRB screen. I hit that, my BRB screen comes up. And I'm going to set up a multi-action so I can hit that, my BRB screen comes up, and it mutes my microphone at the same time. I usually do that with 2 separate key presses. Now I can do it with 1 with multi-actions. It's a wonderful thing. But it's really nice to have a mini option now for those of you out there who don't necessarily need 15 sort of options at a glance. I mean, like I said before, you can put folders inside folders inside folders. So you can have hundreds of different actions, but 15 presented to you at a single time. This is a cheaper option if what you need to do is just have like 6 or 5, because if you do a folder, you've got the back button there taken up. So 6 on the main screen, then you dig into folders, you've got 5 at a time. And quite frankly, I could happily run my stream off that. It would just take a couple extra button presses to go into a folder for the emoticon pop-ups, for example, and have the main stuff for my main scenes. You know, my main scene, my BRB, my starting soon, and my stream over. So, you know, that's the main scenes I've got right there, all presented on a single interface, staring at me. So like I said, it's nice that Elgato have made a mini version, because it has been quite requested. People have asked for a mini version. They've also asked for a maxi version as well, but whether or not we get one of those down the line is a different issue altogether. But the mini version is here. You asked, you got it. Elgato delivered. And it's nice to have a cheaper option for those of you who don't quite have the budget to stretch for the big one. Or if you've already got a big one and you have a use for a little ancillary unit, but you don't want to buy a second big one for, you know, whatever reason. Or like I said before, maybe you just don't need that many different options presented to you at once. You can get away with using the cheaper one if you just need that many options presented at once. At just under 100 American smackaroonies, it's not what I'd call cheap. It is an investment in a tool that can make your life easier. It's like buying a really nice keyboard or a nice camera, for example. It is something that's going to make your life more pleasant and sort of up the production quality of your streams, or make your life easier when you're video editing or photo editing or drawing or whatever it is you wind up using this thing for, because it is, again, 100% absolutely configurable to whatever you want it to do. And it's just, sorry, I'm gushing again, aren't I? Had a feeling I'd get a bit carried away while recording this video. What I should have done is like written a script or something to try and keep me on track and stuff like that. But I get enthusiastic about the Stream Deck, and if you've ever asked me about the Stream Deck while I'm streaming, you'll know that I'll kick off on a like 10-minute triad about wait, triad? It's not the word I'm looking for. A 10-minute waffle about how much better my stream life has gotten since I've had this to sort of help me control the flow of the stream, and spend this time thinking about how I'm doing something and spend more time thinking about what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to think about, oh, I have to tab out to do this now, or I have to remember what hotkey switch to which screen, things like that. It's just, it removes friction. Like I said before, that's the best way I can put it. It removes a layer of friction between what you're doing and how you're doing it. Know what I mean? Anyway, Stream Deck Mini, smaller option now. Just thought you should know, because I'm very excited about the product. Thanks for watching. I'm Blunty, and we'll catch you next time. And now, when I press the big red record button, it will stop recording because it's lit up red to tell me it's recording. As soon as I hit that, it's going to stop recording and it's going to turn to a sort of pale greenish blue color kind of thing. But you can't see that because the instant I hit this button,